Why do you think most Christians overlook the validity of the Bible?
I think they do it because they're too emotionally attached.
Period.
If I was to give you a quick answer, that's it. Because you could bring up a contradiction. You could bring up Matthew chapter 17, verse 21, right? If you're watching this, go to your Bible, go to the KJV, you'll see Matthew chapter 20, and then it goes to 22. Verse 21 is missing. But they'll just say, oh, Matthew, he forgot to... Come on, man. Like, at what point do we stop giving these people excuses?
Okay, first of all, we don't think that that verse is missing because Matthew forgot to write it. What are you talking about? And also he misspoke. So he's referring to Matthew chapter 17, verses 20 through 22. The reason Matthew chapter 17, verse 21 is missing, quote unquote, is because it was discovered that in an earlier manuscript, the verse that was normally attributed to Matthew chapter 17, verse 21 was not present in the earliest available manuscripts and most reliable manuscripts. Now, for context, let's read the verses around Matthew chapter 17, verse 21, just to see what's going on. So verse 19 says, quote, "Then the disciples came to Jesus privately and said, 'Why could we not cast it out?' Verse 20, he said to them, 'Because of your little faith. For truly I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you.'" Now, the verse that was in Matthew chapter 17, verse 21 says, quote, "However, this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting." So again, this was not present in the earliest and most reliable manuscripts, which is why it's removed now in modern translations of the Bible. But does this suggest that the scriptures have been corrupted or that they can't be trusted? Well, no, because this doesn't really change the meaning of the text. And also this verse is found elsewhere in Mark chapter 9, verse 29. But Muslim apologists typically use things like this to say that the scriptures are corrupted, that the New Testament can't be trusted, and therefore Christianity is a false religion based on flawed scriptures. But by this standard, we would have to say that the same is true for Islam, because the Quran has variations among different translations as well. For example, take a look at this disputed passage in the Quran, and this one. And if that's not enough, here's a third one. So if having variations across different translations shows that the scriptures themselves are untrustworthy and a religion cannot be based on them that is valid, then Islam would have to be a false religion as well. I hope this helps. God bless. Huge announcement. We are building a professional grade studio so that we can have in-person interviews and have a much better setup than just the corner of my bedroom that I'm working from right now. If you want to help out with this effort, we definitely need your help. Please go to givesendgo.com/SWS studio or click the link in my Instagram story or YouTube community posts. Thank you so much for everybody who has helped so far. God bless.